Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'll be doing an unboxing and reboxing of the Deluxe Storage Box for Time of Legends Joan of Arc by Mythic Games. This box was designed to hold all the paperwork, the tiles, the cards, the tokens, and the dice, you name it, for everything Joan of Arc, including all of the expansions. Now, I don't have all of the expansions, but I will try to point out where everything goes so you know how to store everything inside this box. So let's quickly get to it. Okay, so this is the Deluxe Storage Box for Joan of Arc, and it's huge. As you can see, it doesn't even fit into my frame. It's really big and tall. It does fit into a Kallax shelf. I've tried it. You have to put it in this way so it'll stick out just a bit, but it does fit. So that's good. And well, let's just take a look at it first. So it has the nice art on the front of the Joan of Arc core game, basically, with the logo on it. It's fashioned to look like a nice wooden box. It has an angel here on the side. It's got Joan of Arc on one of the sides as well. Here is the witch. And over here we've got one of the heroes. So yeah, let's just turn it around. On the bottom also has just some art. Basically this is the same art as on the game mat. And you know, it has the whole battlefield depicted with a devil and an angel, but nothing else really. So let's just open that up and see what's inside. All right, so you get an instruction, which I've heard wasn't incredibly helpful. I mean, we can see the different trays here and what you're supposed to put in it, but it's not super clear which tokens and tiles from which expansions go where, so you're gonna have to figure that out yourself. But I mean, the shapes are there more or less, so I think you can figure it out. So yeah, let's just put that aside and take a look at this. So we've got two card trays here, which look to be the same on the inside, and these straps help to take them out, because if you just want to put them in, you have to squeeze your fingers in, and you know, if this has cards in it, it's going to be heavy, so that might be hard. So this works. Yeah, I'll take those out of the shrink and put the cards in, which I will show you later once I've taken everything out. Then we have two trays. The black ones are trays. We have two of those meant for your dice and your command tokens, or the wooden cubes if you don't have the standees, and tokens that you use a lot, like the XP tokens and the wound tokens, for example. And you can make two trays, kind of the same one for each player or team. So you got all those tokens at the ready. Then you can put all the other tokens in here. So just basically all the rest of the tokens that are used by both players. Then there's a tray that has many of these bigger tokens, like the buildings and the towers from Siege. I don't have those, but I'll show you what I have and tell you what else you can fit in there. Then on the bottom there's a big orange tray here, which holds the player boards and the monster boards, which I will also demonstrate. And lastly, this got shaken around a bit because I turned the box, but this is where all the tiles go, and these things are dividers, and you can write a name on that if you want to indicate which tiles from which expansion are where. So we have plenty of those, so that should be good. And in the center you can still put some other tokens, and that is everything in the box. It's huge, pretty big and deep, so it's going to be very heavy when it's filled. But that I will show you in a bit. Let me just first sort everything out, and then I'll see you on the flip side. Alright, so let's start at the bottom. Obviously, the bottom tray is meant for all your hexagonal tiles. Pretty clear. You can put the single ones in, you can put the double ones in as well, like this. These are all from the core game. This is all the sky tiles from the dragon and other expansions. And the bottom ones are from the Teutonic Knights expansion, and you can use those slips in between. I don't have many more expansions than the Dragon and Teutonic Knights, and of course the Reliquary box and the super exclusives, aside from the core game, so I can't fill this up sadly, but if you have many expansions, then you obviously will fill all of this up. And so I'll just put these here, but it'll be filled up until this ledge here, and you can put the triple tiles, so that's these, on top of that. But before I do that, there is a spot in the middle which is basically just a big tray, and what I did is I just took all of these cubes, because I'm using the banners. Well, I've been using the cubes actually a lot, but I'm gonna put these in here and just leave them there. But you can put any access tokens or other things you're not using in here. It's basically just a big box to keep whatever you have left. I put these bigger tiles, these building and underground tiles from Teutonic Knights here, because there doesn't seem to be a dedicated slot for this. So that's a bit of a bummer, but they do fit in here, as well as these tiles, which also came with Teutonic Knights. So these are all the Teutonic Knights buildings or underground tiles. So then you put the triple hexagons on top of that. That will rest on top of that box in the middle and the rest of your tiles, and it will be flush with this edge. So that will be as full as you have tiles for it. So then I also had ordered extra of these bases, these base clips. So I just tossed all of the black and the white base clips and the green and the yellow ones in here, because you normally would put these with the miniatures, I suppose, but I just put them in here. So if you do have some room left, you can use it. Then we have this tray, which has the big monster dashboards. So that's the beast and the dragon, and maybe you have the apocalypse, and what else is there? And you can put them in here, or the devil from Hell on Earth, or whatever it's called, and an expansion that I don't have. The big dashboard goes on top of this, which has also a dedicated slot to keep everything in place. The fire tokens you can put here. You've got some of these bushes tokens that you can put in here. I have these two, which I completely forgot what they were for. Just put them there as well. You can put those anywhere, of course, because they're tiny. You can put these two in here, dedicated slot for that. And this is another slot that they basically they had leftover space, so they made a slot so you can put something in there if you have access tokens. This is for your player boards, and I have 4. If you have the expansion for the 6-player, then you have 2 more. And the trouble with this is that the sides of this, they're not straight, they're slanted inwards. So that means that the bottom one, because the width, the height is good, you can see that there's room, but the width is too narrow. This should have been wider, so that's an error. And the bottom one, if you pushed it all the way down, it will be stuck. So that's a bit of a bummer. But the other ones are fine, and you can kind of flip it up. If you push on the side, you can flip them up, but the bottom one is just stuck there. So that's a bit of an oversight, I feel. They could have just tested that. Now you put in this on top, and that fills this tray. So that's pretty straightforward. Now we're getting to some trays, which I will show you in a bit more detail. So let me move this to the side. This is the green tray. And again, since I don't have all the expansions, it's not completely full. But I will put these to the side to show you what goes in, and I'll do that in order that I put them in. So there we go. So on the bottom you have these small church tiles, probably from the Village or the Ars Nova expansion. There is room for 3 in here. This holds a building as well, just one tile that has this exact shape. Then on top of that you can put this in from the super exclusives. So you can put this one in first, like that. It's a bit tight, strangely enough, but it does fit. Has this contour that it will follow here. Then they tell you, the instructions tell you, you can just put some smaller tiles on top of that, because there is some space here. So what I did is I put a small building. I think this is from Teutonic Knights as well. I'm not entirely sure anymore. And this building. I think these are the farms from Teutonic Knights. So this is 3 tiles that fit in here nicely. Then I have this church tile that I put on top of that. Just put that in the corner. And I have that second little tile, and I put that underneath. So that means 2 layers of tiles. You can rearrange that however you want. Just make sure that it fills 2 layers, and then it will be flush with this, which means you can put other tiles on top. So this is another one from the super exclusives. First you pick the smaller one that doesn't quite follow the contours, just a bit smaller, and then you take the bigger one, which does fill the entire contour, and now it will sit flush. So that's pretty good. And these are nice. They move around a bit and you can take them out easily. So that's good. Underneath the first player marker, which sits in this slot here, you have room for the 4 towers from the Siege expansion, which fit on here. And again, there's this edge here, so you can push on a side and that will flip out. And this one you can just pull out here. So that was better designed, I think. This is again trays for bigger buildings from either the Village or any of the other expansions. This has square tiles with skulls on them from, I believe, Ars Nova. You can put circular tokens in here. This has the ladders from Siege. This has these 2 buildings from the core game. And this building as well, probably also from the core game. A taller building. And then you can put the square tiles that don't fit here in here. And there's another one that has this kind of shape, which I, again, do not have. So apologies for that. But that is everything that goes in here. And this is, except for the couple of tiles that you need to kind of sort out in between here, the rest is pretty straightforward because it just simply doesn't fit anywhere else. And this is all, you know, pretty straightforward. So that's where you put that. And then you put that on one side of the big box over there. Then we got another tray with all of the tokens. I'll show you this first, which is probably a more logical way to tell you what I did. So I have these 2 black trays, and what I did is I divided everything inside for 2 players, so that every player can take one of these trays and just have their banners. As you can see, I haven't even stuck on the stickers yet, but there's 6 in each tray, and there's 10 in these for the gray command banners, and then the other ones are the yellow, the green, the blue ones. Same over here. And then I have a tray which has some of these damage tokens, the XP tokens, these intrigue tokens, and I just divided them equally among these 2 trays. I did have a couple of XP tokens left, and if you have more expansions, you'll probably have many of these left, and those, again, you can put in the bottom tray in that big middle part, because you're not really using them most of the time. Then I put all the damage tokens, the wound tokens in here, also divided them into equal amounts. The dice obviously go here. I had 6 for these and 5 for these. It's just the amount of dice that I have of each color. So I have 11. I had an extra dice pack. Then I put all of these tokens, all of them, in one tray, because that left a nice tray for these dice as well. So these would have to be handed between the players, but otherwise you can use everything that's in this tray for yourself. And of course also the colored clips for your armies. I have some extra clips as well, so I put all the red ones in here and all the blue ones in here, so you can have a red versus a blue army. I thought that was the most convenient way to do it. Of course, you're free to do it any way you want, of course. But yeah, that works for me. So I put those on the left side in the box next to the green one, and these two go on top of each other. So then again, this blue one basically has the rest of, so these are my remaining XP, should I need them. Probably not. You have these, and it kind of annoys me that these bigger round tokens don't actually fit in here. Why did they not make these circular? I don't know. I mean, these were obviously meant for these because they don't fit anywhere else. So that's a bit odd. And yeah, so I don't know what to do with that. I just put them in here. And these are all of these, you know, these intrigue tokens, the question marks. These are all the numbered ones. Here are all kinds of different units. They are unique. Then we have these wings. We have the blank ones. We got the wolf here. We got these bowmen, the crossbowmen, these peasants, villagers. We have that skull, the flag. These are also different ones. There's a sword, there's an armor. It's just all kinds of assorted different ones that I put there. I have this one with that merchant on it. We have these with that token on it with the 1 and the 2. This is all of these faction banners, so all of them put together. If you have more, you can of course also put it there. Doesn't really matter. These are the factions from Teutonic Knights. All of this is Teutonic Knights. So we have these question mark tokens as well, which was, I guess, from the base game. This is all also from Teutonic Knights. So more of these blank ones. I guess I could put those together as well, technically. So yeah, you can really arrange this however you want. This is made for the round tokens. That's it. So, and again, if you have more than would fit in here, just take the ones you use, the ones you need, put them in there, and put all the rest in a Ziploc bag in the bottom of the box, because you probably won't need them. All right, so then we're back to the box here, and let me just put that here. Let me prop up the box a bit again so that you can see that better. So the 2 black ones here, and the green one and the blue one go over here. So that brings us to the card trays. So let me just open up one of these. Here you go. So this is one of the card trays. And these are sleeved cards, again from the core game, super exclusives, reliquary box, the dragon, and Teutonic Knights. And I just divided them up in a way that I found handy. So this is all the bigger units from Teutonic Knights, and those fit in here nicely. Then I have all of these questions and answer cards from Teutonic Knights as well. This is questions and answers from all the other boxes that I had, and I think some of these carry over in here as well. So I think these are all the question and answer cards, and I just divided them. And finally, we have all of these cards, these army cards. So put all of those together in here. All right, the rest I put in the other tray. I'll show you in a bit. Then we have these cards. So I've put, again, all the Teutonic Knight smaller or medium cards in here, sleeved. This is from all the other games that I already had, core box, etc. So I just kind of divided them. I had the holy and the unholy factions, and then I had the smaller factions like these, put them together, and these with the gray shields and with the text balloons, I put those together as well. And you could also do it alphabetically or however you wish. Then I put all of these units without a faction, factionless units, and the animals. So these are the mounted ones. Yeah, that's what I did. I put the cavalry separate from the infantry. So the horsemen and the animals and the machines, the war machines together. There's one that's got lost in there. So this is supposed to go here. And then I got the crossbowmen. So yeah, I should actually put those crossbowmen with the infantry then. And then the war machines again, yes. So yeah, I mean, that's just one way to do it. You can of course do it any other way. You can do it alphabetically. So there you go. Then I had another slot with, oh, this is the infantry, yeah. So yeah, we have that, all of the infantry. So put those wrong. Should put those with their other infantry brothers over there. All right. And finally, I had these cards, which is just a small stack of cards. And put those there. Right. Then we have the smaller cards. So these are all of these order cards with the hourglass on it. Put those here. It's all of them. Then I had a bigger stack of these cards with all of these items you can use. So they go here. Then we have these items with the blue gem. So this is just text, but I put all of those together. And then of course the other ones with the yellow gem, also put those together. It's a slightly larger stack, but still fits, which left me with these, with the wolf, the werewolf, and the ones from Teutonic Knights with the beggar. So I put those in here. That's one tray. So I still needed some more space for cards. So let me just put the lid on this one. And I've kept the plastic so that I can actually take it out. Oh, and the problem with this is though that it does seem to undo itself quite easily. So maybe I should just put a bit of tape on that. Just a bit of tape will fix that. Well, let me just take a look at that later. So in the second tray, I've got the remainder of the cards, which isn't a lot, but probably if you have more expansions, once again, you'll probably be able to fill this. So starting with the smaller cards, these are the bronze cards with, yeah, whatever happens on these. And I've separated those from the, yeah, these are also bronze cards, but this green one. So we have these and these for the mythic and the historic battles, basically. So I just separated those. And then over here we have the remaining units of the different factions. So I put these together, which don't have a lot of units. So all of these factions, just put all of those together. Then I had a slot with the holy and the unholy factions with the Great Reaper. I put those together. And then finally, you probably already guessed, we have the English and the French units, the bigger cards, all sleeved, all together in here. And that's that. So that's what goes in there. So with this plastic around it, that goes on top. So there you go. And then finally you have a little bit of space left. Let me just put that down again. There you go. If you just push down a bit for all of the manuals, all the rule books. So you have the rule book, the scenario book, some of these, player aids, of course, the super exclusives here, French booklet as well, which I don't really need, and then the the Dragon, Teutonic Knights, again in both languages, don't really need to keep them, and the Reliquary box. So if you have more manuals than that, you're probably just going to keep one of the languages, and that will hopefully all fit in here. And then just put the giant lid on top, and there you go. Everything inside the Deluxe Storage Box. And so that was my unboxing and reboxing of the Deluxe Storage Box for Time of Legends Joan of Arc. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you hit the bell icon, you'll also get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Please also consider becoming a Patreon saint to my channel by clicking the link in the description below or the Patreon logo at the end of this video, which will take you to my Patreon page, where you can support my channel for just as little as $1 a month or more if you want to. You'll get your name in the credits of all of my videos and access to some Patreon exclusive videos as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.